hate the situation, but I'm kind of grateful because it made me the man I am today type shit, the way I go about shit in life. Like, I ain't gonna lie, for some reason I was moving crazy that day. For some reason, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, before that day I told myself I was trying to live like a regular life. That's what I told myself that day.
Really?
Literally what I told everybody around me.
These days, like for example, I got bit by my dog. He got hit by a car, so like he was like drugged up. He came out of the hospital, didn't even recognize it was me. He bit me. Kind of got a little bit of a scar, but that's like a crazy scar.
Yungeen Ace, the 25-year-old Jacksonville rapper, just showed why you should never mix Don Julio with your dead ops track. This Florida boy who survived a quadruple shooting that took his brother and 2 homies is now at the center of the wildest story in hip-hop. Julio Foolio, barely 26, got clapped at a Holiday Inn on his birthday, leaving the streets buzzing. We're diving deep into the beef between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio, and trust me, this story's got plenty of twists.
A lot of people don't be want to play with me. Like everybody, mom used to tell people like, oh, don't play with him. Or that type of shit when I was younger and shit, so.
Word on the street is that Yungeen Ace was spotted in Columbus, Ohio, of all places, doing something that's got everyone shook. Imagine Ace, on stage, mic in hand, performing Who I Smoke. Yeah, that's Julio Foolio's joint, while sipping on some Don Julio. This ain't just some random performance. Nah, this is like pouring gasoline on a fire that's been burning for years. We're talking about a beef that's been simmering in the streets of Jacksonville, spilling over into the music, and now, it seems, it's reached a whole new level. But here's the thing. It ain't just what Ace was doing, it's how he was doing it. Witnesses say he wasn't just performing, he was feeling it. Like, really feeling it. Some folks in the crowd said they saw tears in his eyes. Others said he looked like he was about to break down right there on stage. It's got people wondering, what's really going on in Ace's head? Julio Foolio, the Jacksonville rapper, was tragically gunned down at a Holiday Inn in Tampa. This went down on his 26th birthday. Can you believe that? 1 minute he's celebrating, the next, gone. Just like that. It sent shockwaves through the whole rap game. Not just in Florida, but nationwide.
A crime scene taking up this whole parking lot behind me. This is a Holiday Inn right across the street from USF. Here, 4 people were shot and so were 2 cars. Police say they are also now a part of the investigation.
Julio and Ace had been beefing for years, no cap. We're talking serious street stuff, not just rap battles. This wasn't about who had the better bars or who could sell more records. Nah. This was deep-rooted real-life drama that had been playing out in the streets and on social media for a minute. The thing is, in hip-hop, beef is nothing new. But this was different. It wasn't just about music. It was personal. Both Ace and Foolio had lost people close to them. They'd both seen friends end up behind bars or in the ground. And now, with Foolio gone, it's like the whole game changed overnight. Here's where it gets wild. After Foolio passed, the streets were buzzing. Everyone had a theory. Everyone was pointing fingers. But when the dust settled, 5 people got locked up in connection with the shooting. The crazy part? Ace wasn't one of them. The cops said they were investigating gang activity in Jacksonville, but they weren't specifically looking at Ace. Now, you might be thinking, hold up, if Ace and Foolio had beef, why isn't Ace a suspect? That's the million-dollar question, fam. Some people are saying the cops are sleeping on the job. Others are saying Ace is too smart to get his hands dirty like that. And then there's folks who think maybe, just maybe, Ace really didn't have anything to do with it. But here's the thing. In the streets, innocence don't always mean you're in the clear. People talk, rumors spread, and before you know it, you're caught up in something whether you did it or not. So why did people think Ace might have been involved? Well, after Foolio's death, Ace dropped some diss tracks that had everyone talking. But hold up, that's not even the craziest part. Some dude in a ski mask came out of nowhere, claiming Ace paid him 10 grand to take out Foolio.
Foolio had it coming to him, so, I don't really feel sorry, you feel me? A lot of people think that, it was on some gang shit, and all that. Like, it ain't even really all that, you feel me? Like, grudges, you feel me? Ace put that bread up, you feel me? And whoever wanted to take it, so I took that.
Yeah, you heard that right. This masked guy drops a video online talking about how Ace put a hit out on Foolio. He's giving details, talking about money changing hands, the whole 9. But yo, you can't believe everything you hear on the internet, feel me? These days, anyone can put on a mask, hit record, and start spitting facts. But are they really facts, or is it just someone trying to get their 15 minutes of fame? This ski mask dude's video went viral though. It had people buzzing, sharing it all over social media. Some folks were buying it hook, line, and sinker. Others were calling cap from the jump. But either way, it put Ace in a tough spot. How do you defend yourself against something like that? In an interview with DJ Academics, Ace finally broke his silence. He shut all that down. Said he had nothing to do with Foolio's passing and those diss tracks, just a way to ride the hype wave. But then, he said something that had everyone scratching their heads. He even said Foolio might still be alive because of some voodoo stuff. I don't know about all that, but it's wild to think about. Like, is Ace for real? Or is he just trying to throw people off? In the interview, Ace was passionate. He was animated. He claimed he was no killer, but an artiste who makes music like. But you could see the weight of all this drama on his shoulders. It's like he was carrying the whole world, trying to clear his name and keep his career going at the same time. Now, here's where things get real interesting. Ace claimed he and Julio were actually cool before all this went down. He even said he told Julio to stay out of the streets. This had people shook, like, wait a minute, weren't these two supposed to be mortal enemies? How you go from beefing to being cool to one of y'all ending up dead? It's got people wondering if there's more to this story than meets the eye. Ace talked about how he and Julio came up in the same streets, faced the same struggles. He said they had their differences, but they were cut from the same cloth. It's like he was trying to paint a picture of two rivals who had more in common than people realized. But here's the thing. In the streets, today's friend can be tomorrow's op. Loyalties shift. Alliances change. So when Ace is talking about being cool with Julio, you gotta wonder, was this for real? Or is this just Ace trying to save face now that Julio's gone? But check this out. Ace also dropped 2 songs after Julio's death that got people talking. Do It and Game Over. Some fans think these tracks are referencing what went down with Julio. On the surface, it sounds like standard rap beef stuff. But when you listen closer, when you really pay attention to the lyrics, it's like Ace is telling a story about rivalry, about loss, about the consequences of street life. Some people are saying these tracks are Ace's way of claiming victory over Julio. Others think it's his way of processing what happened, of dealing with the guilt or the grief. And then there's folks who think Ace is just doing what rappers do, using real-life drama to fuel his music. But here's the thing. In hip-hop, your words are your weapon. Your lyrics are your testimony. So when Ace drops these tracks right after Julio's death, you gotta ask yourself, what's he really trying to say? So now we got Ace in Ohio singing Julio's song and sipping Don Julio. Is he dissing Julio? Is he praising him? Or is this some kind of twisted way of showing regret? Think about it. Who I Smoke was Julio's joint. It was his claim to fame, the track that put him on the map. So when Ace gets up there and performs it, what's that about? Is he trying to take Julio's legacy? Is he trying to keep it alive? Or is it something else entirely? Some people in the crowd said Ace looked emotional during the performance, like he was really feeling the weight of the words he was spitting. Others said he looked defiant, like he was claiming the song as his own. And then there's the Don Julio. Why that specific drink? Is it just because it rhymes with Julio? Or is there more to it? In the streets, every detail matters. Every move is analyzed. So you know people are looking at this performance from every angle, trying to figure out what Ace is really saying. Think about it. If Ace and Julio were really tight, and that's a big if, Ace had anything to do with what happened, maybe he's feeling the weight of it all now. Maybe singing Who I Smoke isn't a diss, but a messed up way of paying respects. Now, I'm not saying Ace had anything to do with Julio's death. That's not for me to say. But in the court of public opinion, people are connecting dots, whether they're there or not. And then there's the theory that this is all part of some bigger play, like Ace is trying to throw people off the scent by acting all emotional and conflicted. In the game, you never know what's real and what's just for show. But here's the thing, we weren't there when Julio got shot. We don't know what really went down. All we got is what we see, what we hear, and what we choose to believe. And in this case, there's a whole lot to unpack. But yo, we gotta keep it real. The police did a thorough investigation. If Ace was guilty, wouldn't he be behind bars by now? Even Julio's mom said there would be more arrests, but she never specifically mentioned Ace. The cops have been tight-lipped about the whole thing. They're not giving up much info, which is pretty standard for an ongoing investigation. But what we do know is that they've been looking into gang activity in Jacksonville for a minute. They've been tracking beefs, following social media posts, listening to music. Yeah, that's right. In cases like this, your bars can be used against you in court. That's why some people think Ace's recent tracks might come back to bite him.
So Yungeen Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
But so far, the police haven't made any moves on Ace. They haven't brought him in for questioning, haven't named him as a suspect, nothing. And in the legal world, that says a lot. It's like the old saying goes, innocent until proven guilty. So what's really going on? Is Ace feeling guilty? Is he trying to send a message? Or is this all just a big misunderstanding? These are the questions everyone's asking. From the fans in the streets to the execs in the boardrooms, everyone's trying to figure out what's really going on with Ace. Is he a man racked with guilt, trying to cope with the loss of someone he once considered a friend? Is he an artist using controversy to fuel his career? Or is he just caught up in a situation that spiraled way out of control? The truth is, we might never know for sure. In the world of hip-hop, where image is everything and the line between real life and performance is blurry, it's hard to tell what's genuine and what's just for show. Now y'all know we always keep our ears to the streets, and the fans, they've got plenty to say about this whole situation. Let's check out some of these reactions, cause they're wild, no cap. One fan hit up the comments saying, he don't realize Julio being alive is how he got paid. His music finna be irrelevant now. Damn, that's cold. But you gotta wonder, is there some truth to that? Was the beef with Julio keeping Ace in the spotlight? Another fan's looking at the bigger picture saying, they can rap and all that when the feds come to lick them up. You know, once they start throwing football numbers, people going to crack and start talking. Most not solid when it's time to face that piper. Real talk. When those indictments start coming down, that's when you see who's really bout that life and who's just playing a role. So what do y'all think? Is Ace really breaking down? Does he regret what happened to Julio? Or is this all just part of the game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more hip-hop news and analysis.